Thank you very much, Fahita, for such a beautiful performance.
Today, ASEAN marks its 58th anniversary. This is a moment to celebrate the unity, progress, and shared journey of our community. This year, inspired by Malaysia ASEAN Chairmanship's theme, the ASEAN Day celebration is held under the overarching theme of Towards Inclusive and Sustainable ASEAN Future, reflecting our shared commitment to building a region that embraces unity in diversity and mindful of the future. Inclusion begins with representation. For the first time, the ASEAN Day morning ceremony featured a sign language interpreter, affirming our commitment to accessible communication for all. By engaging businesses that empower differently able members of our community, the 58th ASEAN Day aims to ensure that no one is left behind in our activities. By creating space for the differently gifted to showcase their talent, we ensure that the 58th ASEAN Day supports movements of inclusivity. Entities associated with ASEAN showcase initiatives that uplift communities and promote inclusive, people-centered, and sustainable programs for a better ASEAN future. Sustainability is in every detail. Even our banners were made from reusable materials, replacing plastic to reflect our commitment to sustainability. The ASEAN Food Festival served delicious dishes with eco-friendly packaging, encouraging mindful choices. We also invited guests to bring their own tumblers, with water refill stations available at the lobby of the ASEAN Heritage Building as a small step toward a greener future. Inclusivity and sustainability at full display in this year's ASEAN Day souvenirs with the upcycled natural materials gently weaved by ASEAN mothers and women groups. All collected waste will be properly sorted for reuse and recycling. We encourage everyone to dispose your waste at the designated Sirsak waste management stations because every celebration should leave a lasting positive impact. ASEAN Day 58 is more than a celebration. It is a reminder of what we can achieve when we move forward together towards an inclusive and sustainable ASEAN future.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. My name is Doni Cahyono.
And my name is Desi Nurmaladewi. We both will be your MCs for this morning ceremony. Excellencies, may we kindly request you to please switch your mobile phones to silent mode throughout this ceremony. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, we would like to make a few announcements. Refreshments are available at the foyer of this hall. This year's refreshment is the courtesy of Malaysia as the ASEAN Chair 2025. Please help yourself and enjoy the food and drinks, but please be reminded that the food and drinks are not to be brought into this hall. For your information, the ASEAN Secretariat gift shop on the first floor is conducting the 58th ASEAN Day sale throughout the month of August. Please do check our ASEAN-themed merchandise and enjoy the sale before you leave for the day or when you visit the ASEAN Secretariat on another occasion this month.
We would like to thank our partners and sponsors for their support for the 58th ASEAN Day series of events. They are L'Oréal Professional and L'Oréal Paris Indonesia for sponsoring makeup artists and exclusive merchandise for this event. We appreciate L'Oréal Group's commitment to transform its business ecosystem towards sustainability and respecting planetary boundaries. One evidence of this commitment is the L'Oreal Professional Serious Expert Hair Care range, where up to 95% of its plastic bottles are crafted from recycled materials. We also would like to thank Traditional Textile Arts Society of Southeast Asia, whose mission is to preserve and conserve Southeast Asia's traditional textiles. Ascenta and AirAsia Move, Unilever Indonesia, Procter & Gamble, and the 58th ASEAN Day is also supported by Sirsak, which is diligently assisting us to ensure that all waste generated during the ASEAN Day event will be properly recycled and traced.
Yes, Dewi. And to continue the list, we also would like to thank DoubleTree by Hilton Jakarta Bintaro Jaya for sponsoring the 58th ASEAN Day cake and our cookie corner. Setali Indonesia, Demi Bumi, Duanyam, and Maybank Foundation, who will be supporting us during the ASEAN Day afternoon program to demonstrate that sustainability is achievable and practical. Pips Photobox, PT Millennial Inti Telekomunikasi, Mile Network, McDonald's Indonesia, Three Story Cafe, and Akuviva. Please also be informed that our program will be live streamed on ASEAN's YouTube channel and social media platforms. So please smile when you see a camera around you.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Sugiono, and the Secretary General of ASEAN, His Excellency Dr. Kao Kim Hoon.
Excellencies, please remain standing for the singing of the ASEAN anthem by the ASEAN Secretariat Choir.
Raise our flag high, sky high, and raise the pride in our hearts. ASEAN, we are bonded as one, looking out to the world. For peace our goal from the very start, and prosperity to last. We dare to dream, we care to share, together for ASEAN. We dare to dream, we care to share, for it's the way of ASEAN.
Please be seated. Thank you.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. This year's ASEAN Day is themed towards inclusive and sustainable ASEAN future, guided by the Malaysia ASEAN Chairmanship Theme 2025. To kickstart our 58th ASEAN Day ceremony, we have prepared something special lined up for you now, a cultural treat that brings a bit of Malaysia's flavor. Please join us in welcoming Sanggar Mancasari, a talented group of Malaysian performers who blend traditional and modern influences from across ASEAN. They have been making waves since forming just last year, and we are delighted to have them with us today.
They will be performing the Joget Melayu, a lively and joyful traditional Malay dance that's all about celebration and connection, perfect for a morning occasion like this. Let us welcome Sanggar Mancasari.
Heningnya lalu rentak beribu, pakailah mana hendak berhias, cerminku retak seribu. Mendendam unggas biar di hutan, jalan yang tinggal jangan berliku. Tilamku emas, cadangnya intan, berbantal lengan hidupku. Hias cempaka kenanga tepian, mekarnya kuntum nak idam kumbang. Puas ku jaga si bunga impian, gugurnya sebelum berkembang. Hendaklah ku rasa, puncaknya gunung hendak ditawan. Tidaklah ku daya, tingginya tidak terlawan. Janganlah ku hibah, derita hati jangan dikenang. Bukanlah bukan ku pinta, merajuk bukan akar beringin tidak berbatas, cuma bersilang paut di tepi. Bidukku lilin, layarnya kertas, seberang laut berapi. Gurindam lagu bergemar tabir, tiung bernyanyi pohonan jati, bertanam tebu di pinggir bibir, tebung berduri di hati. Laman memutih, pawana menerpa, langit membiru, awan bertali. Bukan dirintih pada siapa, menunggu sinarkan kembali. Hendaklah ku rasa, puncaknya gunung hendak ditawan. Tidaklah ku daya, tingginya tidak terlawan. Janganlah ku hibah, derita hati jangan dikenang. Bukanlah bukan ku pinta, merajuk bukan berpanjangan.
Hendaklah kau rasa,
Ada saya,
puncaknya gunung hendak dibawa.
tingginya tidak terlawan.
Jangan kau hibah,
Aduh sayang,
hati jangan dikenang.
merajuk bukan berpanjangan.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in giving a round of applause for our Malaysian performers, Sanggar Mancasari. Terima kasih, what a beautiful performance.
Your Excellency Minister Sugiono, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the commemoration of the 58th ASEAN Day.
Excellencies, as mentioned before, this year's celebration is held under the theme towards inclusive and sustainable ASEAN future. And for the first time ever, we are catering to our differently abled members of the community through the live sign language translators seen in the screen and online.
Yes, Dewi. The participation of signed language translator as well as talents who are differently gifted throughout this ceremony is designed to ensure the inclusivity element of our ceremony.
Indeed, Donnie. Moreover, the intertwined nature of inclusivity and sustainability are also shown through the souvenirs of the 58th ASEAN Day. They are made by women groups and from materials that are environmentally friendly.
We at the ASEAN Secretariat are committed to the principles of inclusivity and sustainability and are proud to share these souvenirs to all of our esteemed guests.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to officially welcome you and open the ceremony, we would like to kindly invite His Excellency Dr. Kao Kim Hoon, the Secretary General of ASEAN, to deliver his welcome remarks on the occasion of the 58th ASEAN Day. SG Dr. Kao, floor is yours, sir.
The Honorable Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, Chair of ASEAN 2025. Your Excellency, so you know, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia. Your Excellency, Nusran Wahid, Minister of Agrarian Affairs and Special Planning of the Republic of Indonesia. Excellency Ambassadors and Permanent Representatives of the Committee of Permanent Representatives to ASEAN. Excellencies, Ambassador from our dialogue partners, sectoral dialogue partners, different partners, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to all distinguished guests gathered here today, it is both an honor and privilege to welcome you to the 58th ASEAN Day celebration. This occasion brings us together to reflect on our shared journey, celebrate our collective achievements, and renew our unwavering commitment to building the future we envision for our region. This year, we embrace a theme towards an inclusive and sustainable ASEAN future, a vision that resonates deeply with the fundamental values we uphold as a united community. I extend a warm welcome to all distinguished leaders. The Honorable Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, who will be delivering via video the message by the Chair of ASEAN 2025, and His Excellency, so you know, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, who will be delivering the keynote address. Today, we reflect on our remarkable journey as a regional community, one founded on the enduring spirit of mutual respect and collective progress. This is a moment for both reflection and renewal, to assess how far we have traveled together and to recommit ourselves to the values that will guide us forward into the future. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we celebrate ASEAN Day amid profound global volatility and uncertainty. Across the world, geopolitical tensions are intensifying. The global economy is under tremendous challenges, and the multilateral order is being severely tested. Shifting economic and strategic realities are reconfiguring global supply chains, affecting the flows of trade and investment that have long sustained our growth. We must never take for granted the values that have bound us for nearly 6 decades. ASEAN's greatest strength lies not in our institutions, but in our enduring commitment to peace, cooperation, and unity in diversity. We are more than a regional organization. We are a family of nations, bound by trust and a shared vision for a better future. In uncertain times, we must remain a steady and stabilizing force, offering space for honest dialogue, practical cooperation, and principled neutrality. Where differences can be bridged and solutions be found. Even amid tensions close to home, we are guided by the belief that diplomacy and dialogue pave the way to lasting peace. When we center our efforts on our peoples, their suffering in times of disruption and their hope in times of peace, we find great resolve to pursue understanding over conflict. This lies at the heart of the inclusivity theme of this year's ASEAN Chairmanship. Over the past year, we have seen this spirit in action. This from joint evacuations of ASEAN nationals in conflict zones to coordinated humanitarian responses. Our nations have stood together not just in word, but in deed. This is solidarity made real, and is what gives ASEAN its enduring meaning and purpose. Inclusivity also means ensuring that every country, every community, and every individual has a meaningful voice in shaping our common future. It means that development reaches the most remote villages, that youth and women are genuinely empowered, and that no one is left behind in the digital economy. These principles are now enshrined in the ASEAN Community Vision 2045, our shared future, adopted during the 46th ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur. This serves as our comprehensive roadmap for the decades ahead. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, geopolitics and economics aside, we are living in an era of critical environmental tipping points. The harsh realities of climate change, natural disasters, and resource scarcity are already profoundly impacting our communities. ASEAN cannot afford to treat sustainability as an abstract ideal or a future concern. It must be a concrete, urgent strategy embedded in everything we do. ASEAN is taking important steps from our decades-long cooperation on transboundary haze to the recent establishment of the ASEAN Center for Climate Change in Brunei, Jerusalem, to our ongoing efforts to building a regional power grid, or the ASEAN Power Grid, and accelerate renewable energy transition. These reflect a growing resolve to confront the climate crisis together. Sustainability also encompasses economic resilience, diversifying supply chains, enhancing food and energy security, and building smart green infrastructure that will support future generations. These initiatives represent far more than environmental policies. They are comprehensive development strategies. They ensure that our growth does not mortgage the future of coming generations, and that prosperity is shared equitably across all levels of society throughout the ASEAN community. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this year's theme challenges us to act with both urgency and foresight. An inclusive ASEAN is one where opportunity is not a privilege for the few, but a right for all. A sustainable ASEAN is one where growth does not come at the cost of our future. And a united ASEAN is one that manages differences with wisdom, finds common ground amid disagreement, and never loses sight of this important and simple truth. Our geography binds us side by side, and while it may sometimes bring friction, it ultimately ties our destinies together. The only way forward is forward together in the ASEAN spirit of unity and solidarity. It is with this sense of humility, urgency and the renewed spirit of cooperation that we celebrate 58 years of shared progress and achievements. Let us continue building an ASEAN that truly listens to its people, responds effectively to their needs, and delivers lasting peace and prosperity for all. Thank you. Before I invite Excellency Minister Suino to deliver his keynote address, please allow me to say a few words about the ASEAN Food Festival, which is part of the ASEAN Day celebration. Later today, we will celebrate the regional culinary heritage at the ASEAN Food Festival. I would like to take a moment to extend our heartfelt gratitude to a remarkable group of individuals. A special acknowledgement goes to the ASEAN Women Circle for their unwavering support and dedication in bringing this year's ASEAN Day Food Festival to life. I also would like to express our sincere appreciation to the President of ASEAN Women's Circle, Madame Divi Sorio Diporo, the Chief Patron of ASEAN Women's Circle, Madame Marilyn Mazara Sujino, supported by Madame Sari Amanata and Madame Shinta Subolo, who have contributed their time, energy to this event. Your tireless efforts and commitment have made a significant impact, and we truly are grateful. Now, I wish to take this opportunity to invite His Excellency, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, to deliver his keynote address. Excellency, please. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Dr. Kau Kim Horn, Secretary General of ASEAN, Excellencies, Heads of Missions, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, allow me to convey to you the regret of President Prabowo Subianto for not being able to be here joining us in the celebration of ASEAN Day, the 67th, the 58th ASEAN Day. And I don't think I would give a keynote address, Excellencies. I would maybe deliver a little remark as part of a member of ASEAN states, and allow me to start that with a commendation for the performance that was given from Sanggar Mancasari of Malaysia. Because for the performance and the music that just makes you want to dance. Some, if not many of us, don't understand the words of the lyrics. But I am sure that when we saw the performance, when we listened to the music, there might be fingers tapping on the chair and feet, making a rhythm on the floor, because we all understand the harmony of each and every tone that they play. And this is something common in all of us, something universal that we understand, and we all enjoy it. It brings up the spirit of the meeting this morning, and I think this is also something that we need to move on. We move from something universal that we understand, some commonalities, and the harmony of the tones that we listen, the common interest among us, and let's dance together as an association, as a team, as a group that care for the future and prosperity of all of our people and our countries. And let me continue on to the more serious part of the remarks. Beyond celebration, this is a momentum to ask ourselves that what kind of ASEAN do we want to build for the future? Is it one that merely adapts to the changing situation and the dynamics of the global landscape, or one that can inspire and set the tone and even lead? And I think that in our collective aspiration that ASEAN will continue to lead in building a region that is peaceful, resilient, innovative, and people-centered. A region that thrives through unity and shared responsibility. In 1967, 5 nations chose diplomacy over division. They signed the ASEAN Declaration in Bangkok amidst Cold War tension. ASEAN was not born in a normal condition, in ideal conditions, and yet it endured. And then from that modest beginning, ASEAN has become a family of 10 and soon to be 11 with the accession of Timor-Leste. ASEAN is indeed a hub for regional integration, supply chain, and dialogue, and truly a stabilizing force in an increasingly contested region, Indo-Pacific region. With over 675 million people and combined GDP of nearly $4 trillion, ASEAN is the world's 5th largest economy, but size alone means little if we are not united, if we are not thinking strategically. This year, we begin implementing the ASEAN Vision 2045. And we must ensure that it will not remain an aspiration by turning this vision into action. And we believe that this is our moment. Our people want impact more than just plans. More than that, we need tangible outcomes. As the chair of ASEAN, Dato Sri Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim mentioned in the last summit, I think it's enough time for declaration, and we need to deliver something concrete from this cooperation. And I want to call on all ASEAN member states, our colleagues and stakeholders to stay the course to implement what we have agreed with full commitment and political will. And if ASEAN is to remain relevant, we must invest in institutional capacity for crisis response, strengthen regional economic cooperation, digital transformation, and also address the transnational threats from human trafficking, climate change, and collective action. But none of this will be possible without ASEAN unity. There are differences, but again, as I mentioned, as the analogy, let us move from the commonalities that we have, from the shared belief and shared idealism, shared inspiration that we have, and resolve all the differences through diplomacy and dialogue, and avoiding any escalation of tension. Indonesia commends Malaysia's role as ASEAN chair in facilitating dialogue to reduce these tensions. And Indonesia also offers any assistance should there any need for our involvement. And I think this is the tradition, this is our way, ASEAN way of consultative measure grounded in mutual respect. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I want to also ask all of us to recall the vision of Adam Malik that ASEAN must stand firm on its own feet, free from external coercion. And that vision, I think, is becoming more relevant today. We are facing escalating rivalries, global economic fragmentation, and weakening international law. To face that, we must strengthen our resolve for ASEAN to stay neutral and credible instead of being sidelined and divided. Our strength lies in our independence and our credibility as a neutral, inclusive, and consistent actor in the region. And that means preserving ASEAN centrality is not merely a slogan, but as an operating principle for all of us. We must be the convener, the bridge builder, the trusted platform for dialogue and cooperation, and ASEAN outlook on the Indo-Pacific will remain our guiding compass. The core principles of the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation, namely peaceful settlement of disputes, non-interference, and mutual respect, must be upheld without compromise. Upholding peace and stability in the region, including South China Sea, must also remain our shared priority. And in this context, Indonesia calls for an early conclusion of the Code of Conduct to promote constructive engagement in accordance with international law, particularly UNCLOS 1982. Excellency, Stability is not an end in itself. It must also deliver prosperity. Amid rising protectionism and economic fragmentation, we must deepen integration and ensure inclusive growth for our people. Regional stability should serve as a foundation for advancing food security, just energy transition, resilient supply chain, and enhanced digital connectivity. And with this stability, ASEAN must contribute to global peace. And we cannot remain silent in the face of grave injustice. The humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza is one of the worst in modern history. Over 60,000 Palestinian lives have been lost, and we must speak with moral clarity by calling for an immediate and permanent ceasefire, full humanitarian access, and just peace based on two-state solution. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia will continue supporting ASEAN from the expansion of the Secretariat infrastructure to the revitalization of ASEAN Heritage Building. We also support the establishment of ASEAN Museum and Library to preserve not just to preserve physical structure, but to also preserve the history and symbols of ASEAN's evolving identity and outreach. And I think by understanding all the histories behind us, we can stay true to the objectives and the ideals of the establishment of this association. And Jakarta is not just a host city, it is a living platform for regional collaboration. And in this regard, Indonesia welcomes the initiative to transform the ASEAN headquarters and its surroundings into a vibrant hub of diplomacy, culture, and community engagement. To close my remarks, let us remember what has sustained ASEAN through the decades. ASEAN is indeed not flawless. No community, no organization is. But we endure because we choose dialogue over confrontation, cooperation over competition, and unity over division. ASEAN Vision 2045 must be implemented in full, and this is how we build a region that is resilient, trusted, and future ready. And as we mark the 58 years of ASEAN, let us renew our pledge to build a region where peace is preserved, prosperity is shared, and dignity is upheld. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? And Indonesia will continue this journey with all of you, with trust, with purpose, and with resolve. Happy ASEAN Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Dr. Sugiono, for the insightful speech.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Anwar Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, Chair of ASEAN, could not be here with us physically. However, we have received his video remarks for this occasion. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to present to you the video remarks of Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim.
Excellency Dr. Kau Kim Hoon, Secretary General of ASEAN, let me begin by thanking you and the Secretariat for this wonderful opportunity. 58 years ago, ASEAN was founded with a simple and enduring purpose: to keep the peace, to build trust, and to foster cooperation among neighbors. That vision remains the bedrock of our community today. Malaysia is therefore honored to serve as ASEAN Chair in this momentous and challenging year. We do so fully aware that it comes at a time of profound consequence, not only in international affairs, but in how we trade, work, and live. Strategic rivalry now shapes investment, technology, and the movement of goods. The global economy is fragmenting, and decisions once mainly driven by economics are increasingly shaped by geopolitics. Now, in this environment, ASEAN's unity is more vital than ever. Our ability to speak clearly, to coordinate effectively, and to protect our shared interests will shape our relevance in the years ahead. From digitalization to decarbonization, ASEAN must prepare our people for transitions already underway. To adapt, advance, and thrive, we must keep investing in skills, infrastructure, and institutional capacity. Today, ASEAN is home to over 670 million people. Our combined GDP is almost $4 trillion, making us the fifth largest economy in the world. By 2030, we may well become the fourth. But scale alone is not enough. We must grow in ways that are more inclusive, sustainable, and broadly shared. That is the focus of Malaysia's chairmanship, and that is the legacy we hope to pass on to the Philippines when they assume the chair in 2026. We are also pleased that Timor-Leste extension is moving forward. ASEAN's strength lies in its openness and in the willingness of its members to support one another's development. When Timor-Leste becomes our 11th member state, ASEAN will be complete, representing all of geographic Southeast Asia. ASEAN Vision 2045 sets out long-term goals for a region that's resilient, innovative, and people-centered. It is a forward-looking document, but its success depends on the actions we take now, and from improving regional connectivity to strengthening food and energy security. Malaysia is committed to ASEAN centrality, and that means ensuring that ASEAN remains at the heart of regional dialogue and cooperation, not only in form but in substance. It also means addressing difficult issues constructively, including the situation in Myanmar. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, anniversaries often and offer a moment to reflect, not just on what has been done, but on the work that remains. ASEAN's progress has been real, but the challenges ahead are just as significant. What will carry us forward in strength and conviction is the same approach that built its community in the first place: strategic foresight, mutual respect, and trust, and a commitment to work together. On behalf of the government of Malaysia, I wish all ASEAN citizens a meaningful 58th ASEAN Day. May our cooperation continue to deepen. May our unity remain firm. And may ASEAN continue to stand as a shining example of peace, progress, and partnership in our region and beyond. Terima kasih. Thank you.
We thank you, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, for the remarks. Excellencies, before we proceed to our cake-cutting ceremony to commemorate the 58th anniversary of ASEAN, we kindly request His Excellency Minister Sugiono and His Excellency Dr. Kao Kim Hoon to please come on stage.
This year's birthday cake is provided by DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel Bintaro Jaya. Thank you for your support.
Now, Excellencies, without further ado, may we also kindly invite the Committee of the Permanent Representatives to ASEAN to also join Minister Sugiono and SG Dr. Kao Kim Hoon on stage, please. May we also kindly invite the Ambassador of Timor-Leste to ASEAN to join on stage. Minister Sugiono and SG Dr. Kao Kim Hoon, allow us to count to 3. One, two, three. Please hold while our photographers capture the moment, Excellencies.
Thank you, Excellencies. Please now smile to the camera and hold the pose while our photographers capture the moment.
May we also kindly invite our Deputy Secretaries General to join on stage. Please, DSGs.
Excellencies, please smile to the camera and hold the pose while our photographers capture the moment. In 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Excellencies. May we now invite you to do the ASEAN Way pose, please. Right hand over left hand. Thank you. Please hold. In 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Thank you very much, Excellencies. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, We will continue our program with a performance by the talented musician of London School Beyond Academy, LSBA.
The London School Beyond Academy is part of the ASEAN Autism Network, an entity associated with ASEAN listed under Annex 2 of the ASEAN Charter. This violinist performance will represent the continuity of vision, synergy, and collaboration between all ASEAN member states to manifest an inclusive and sustainable ASEAN community.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to present to you a differently gifted violinist, Mr. Fauzan, who will be presenting a song that he wrote titled Surga or Heaven to Us All. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in warmly welcoming Mr. Fauzan to the stage.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in giving a big round of applause for our Vales. Thank you, Fauzan, for the beautiful performance.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to close our official ceremony today, we would like to invite our talented Malaysian dancers, Sanggar Mancasari, to once again serenade us with their beautiful performance. Please welcome Sanggar Mancasari from Malaysia.
Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Dari Melaka ke negeri Pahang, singgah di Johor beli berangan. Dari Melaka ke negeri Pahang, singgah di Johor beli berangan. Kami ucapkan selamatlah datang. Apa yang kurang dicaci jangan. Kami ucapkan selamatlah datang. Apa yang kurang dicaci jangan. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Pukullah kendang, hai kulit kerbau. Dalam majelis tari menari. Pukullah kendang, hai kulit kerbau. Dalam majelis tari menari. Sayalah ini Bang Oi dagang merantau, mengharap pelas orang di sini. Sayalah ini Bang Oi dagang merantau, mengharap pelas orang di sini. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Negeri Pahang aman sentosa, kaya dengan tumbuh-tumbuhan. Negeri Pahang aman sentosa, kaya dengan tumbuh-tumbuhan. Niat di hati nak buatlah jasa, mudah-mudahan Tuhan kabulkan. Niat di hati Bang Oi nak buat jasa, mudah-mudahan Tuhan kabulkan. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati nanti rampun sayang. Melenggang, hai melenggang dengan tari lenggang. Kalau baik hati.
Datuk Panglima pergi membajak ke tanah rata senja pulangnya. Datuk Panglima pergi membajak ke tanah rata senja pulangnya. Kalau adik orang yang bijak, negara kita apa namanya? Kalau adik orang yang bijak, negara kita apa namanya?
Ikanlah geli di dalam perahu, oranglah buta tangkap buaya. Ikanlah geli di dalam perahu, oranglah buta tangkap buaya. Kalau Cik Abang ingin nak tahu negara kita nama Malaysia. Kalau Cik Abang ingin nak tahu negara kita nama Malaysia.
Another round of applause, please. Excellencies, distinguished guests, please welcome on stage all of our ASEAN talents who have given their best to perform before us all today. Sanggar Manchasari, Fahita Advani, and Fauzan from LSBA. Once again, let us put our hands together in giving a big round of applause to all our talents and performers today.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, we would like to request our guests to please rise and join us in thanking our guest of honor, His Excellency Minister Sugiono, for gracing our celebration.
Excellencies, His Excellency Minister Sugiono and His Excellency SG Dr. Kao Kim Hon will now take their leave from the Nusantara Hall. Terima kasih banyak, Excellencies.
Thank you, Excellencies, for your presence today. Once again, thank you very much, Your Excellencies.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, before we conclude our program, the ASEAN Secretariat would like to once again thank the following partners and sponsors for their contributions to our celebration today. They are L'Oréal Professional and L'Oréal Paris Indonesia, Traditional Textile Art Society of Southeast Asia, Asenta and AirAsia Move, Unilever Indonesia, Procter & Gamble, Maybank Foundation, Du Anyam, and Sirsak.
We would also like to thank DoubleTree by Hilton Jakarta Bintaro Jaya, Setali Indonesia, Demi Bumi, Pips Photobox, PT Millennial Inti Telekomunikasi, Mile Network, McDonald's Indonesia, Three Story, and Aku Viva. We sincerely thank our sponsors for their invaluable partnership in making this year's celebration a model of sustainability and perfectly aligned with this year's ASEAN Day theme towards an inclusive and sustainable future.
We would like to invite you to savor the refreshments available at the foyer of this hall. Courtesy of Malaysia as the ASEAN Chair 2025. Please also make sure that you have collected your ASEAN Day souvenir at the registration table on the ground floor and L'Oréal exclusive merchandise as you make your way out.
For those RSVP'd to the afternoon program, the ASEAN Food Festival, in cooperation with ASEAN Women's Circle, will be open for participants at 11 a.m. at the Hibiscus Hall at the Heritage Building.
Ladies and gentlemen, our program is now concluded, and we thank you all for coming to our 58th ASEAN Day celebration. And with that, Doni and I will now take our leave.
Thank you very much and happy ASEAN Day! Terima kasih, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Kita foto-foto dulu.
Yuk,
Kayaknya nanti kuaya juga balik kok ke dalam.
pastilah.
Mereka selalu nyari kesempatan untuk foto. Jadi kita punya a collection. Setiap tahun tampil tuh foto sama VIP.
Baik. Punya album lagi sendiri ya?
Ya, tadi kalau kesini mereka nggak keburu kan. Kemarin sengaja nggak bilang gitu.
Terima kasih, thank you, thank you.
Today, ASEAN marks its 58th anniversary. This is a moment to celebrate the unity, progress, and shared journey of our community. This year, inspired by Malaysia ASEAN Chairmanship's theme, the ASEAN Day celebration is held under the overarching theme of Towards Inclusive and Sustainable ASEAN Future, reflecting our shared commitment to building a region that embraces unity in diversity and mindful of the future. Inclusion begins with representation. For the first time, the ASEAN Day morning ceremony featured a sign language interpreter, affirming our commitment to accessible communication for all. By engaging businesses that empower differently able members of our community, the 58th ASEAN Day aims to ensure that no one is left behind in our activities. By creating space for the differently gifted to showcase their talent, we ensure that the 58th ASEAN Day supports movements of inclusivity. Entities associated with ASEAN showcase initiatives that uplift communities and promote inclusive, people-centered, and sustainable programs for a better ASEAN future. Sustainability is in every detail. Even our banners were made from reusable materials, replacing plastic to reflect our commitment to sustainability. The ASEAN Food Festival served delicious dishes with eco-friendly packaging, encouraging mindful choices. We also invited guests to bring their own tumblers with water refill stations available at the lobby of the ASEAN Heritage Building as a small step toward a greener future. Inclusivity and sustainability at full display in this year's ASEAN Day souvenirs with the upcycled natural materials gently weaved by ASEAN mothers and women groups. All collected waste will be properly sorted for reuse and recycling. We encourage everyone to dispose your waste at the designated Sirsak waste management stations because every celebration should leave a lasting positive impact. ASEAN Day 58 is more than a celebration. It is a reminder of what we can achieve when we move forward together towards an inclusive and sustainable ASEAN future.